Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Voices from the Mausoleum, and welcome to our June Horror Hangout, where we are talking Back to the Woods, a staple in horror. I think most people would probably agree. Um, Tonight we are joined by, well, Mike is included. I just think Mike and I are like one entity, so I don't even. He's not like a separate person anymore. Just in case anybody was wondering.
We're
Um,
a team now.
we're just us. We're voices. But three of the faces will look very familiar to viewers. So of course we are joined by the wonderful Paul A. Brooks.
Good evening.
So happy you could make it. I know you're like traveling and doing a million things, so we appreciate it.
Happy to be here.
Um, Lexi, the fourth corner from Horror Fiend TV, was actually off on a night when we did a live. So happy you're here.
Never happens.
And of
I'm
course,
glad to be
Chris
here. Thank
Vander
you for having me.
back. Oh, of course. No, we love having you, Lexi. I know, like, you don't get an opportunity to come on much, but Chris Vander is back.
I never have anything to do, so
That's
Well,
not
then we'll
true.
have to have you on more.
We'll just have. Oh, and new episode of Found Footage Finds dropped today. So if you haven't checked that out, it's on Found TV.
The season finale, correct?
Is it really already?
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah.
Sad.
Well, it's only a 5-episode season, so yeah, they go pretty
That
quick.
went by. I can't believe it's been 5. Oh, I guess they did 2 for the first release, and then, dang, that's crazy. Yeah, and also just as a reminder, you get 10% off an annual subscription ad free for Found TV if you use keyword voices. I had to plug that as much as I can remember to do it to get it out of my system. And then for like her debut on Voices from the Mausoleum, we have Mika from Cinematic Nightmares. How are you? Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi.
Yeah,
We're so excited to have you on.
yeah, genuinely, we like you're gonna become just like everybody else, just this regular friend, family face that everybody comes to know. I did want to give you an opportunity though to talk about the content that you make and kind of what you do over on Cinematic.
So yeah, Cinematic Nightmares is it's my it's been a project I've been doing for almost 2 years now. And I started out on Instagram just doing top 5s and doing 31 days of horror. And so I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna switch over to YouTube and start doing it. So Sundays I drop top 5s. And then I've been doing interviews and every once in a while I'll do once a month I do game night. So we do a horror themed game night. So this month we'll be doing Jaws shark related game night. So that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, that's super cool. And links to where you can find everybody is in the description for this episode, as well as nominations. I'll let Mike take that away.
Yes. So, viewers, listeners, you should already know if you follow us on our socials, we have been posting about our inaugural Sacred Crypt Awards, which we want to honor the indie horror community from independent filmmakers and movies to independent horror authors and books, as well as the content creators that help support and push the horror genre out there. It's something that is near and dear to us, so we really want to highlight the entire community, and nominations have been open for about a week, and we are very happy with what has been received to us. It's been better than we could have anticipated in our first week. Keep the nominations coming. Like Angel said, the form will be in the captions below. Fill it out. Tell us who you want to see nominated. You may see some familiar faces that are possibly on the channel now. Who knows? We don't know. But yeah, it's something very exciting to us, and we cannot wait to get to the next stage with this and share with you all.
Yeah, we're very stoked. I will do hellos, and then we'll start kind of jumping into our theme here. Oh, hey, happy hump day.
Hey, our life in horror.
That's Sam. Yeah, Sam.
Yeah.
Hey, Sam. Hi, Tasha. We love you.
Oh, I miss Tasha.
Tasha, everyone send Tasha a hug. What's up, Rob? Look at this group. Hello. Oh, hey, Joe. What's up?
Hey, Joe.
That's so cute.
Hi, Mom.
Hey, Lexi's mom.
We love that.
That's cute. Rob says, I think we all agree that I should win all of the awards. Well, these are not like pain in the butt awards or Tasha's art or what is it? Art
Arch
nemesis?
nemesis.
Thank you, Arch. Arch nemesis. I've been saying arch angels for like a month. I'm driving myself crazy. Lexi and Rob gets no awards. Tasha, we're on the same page there. Okay. All right, cool. So our theme is horror in the woods. So Mike and I, of course, will go at the end. We want our guests to kind of be able to be spotlighted here and just talk about, the movies that or shows or whichever they think that fit the theme and why they picked them. We'll kind of go in order. We'll start with Paul. We'll go down to Lexi, Chris, and then we'll let Mika go, and then I guess Mike and then me, whichever one. All right, Paul, what's the first one you want to talk about?
I was thinking about earlier today is a movie from, I think it's 2015 called Into the Forest.
Yes.
Yeah.
About Suicide Forest?
No.
No? What am I thinking of? The Forest? Maybe that was
I think you're thinking of The Forest.
I think, the forest.
The Forest. Oh, this is going to get tricky. Go ahead.
This is, and I don't know that this would necessarily be considered horror, although it's very, tense. It's a thriller. It's Elliot Page and Evan Rachel Wood, and it's like all the electricity in the world has gone out, and they are like deep into the forest trying to survive at this house. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I've never seen this one. I'm looking at the first thing that comes up is the most disturbing horror movie I've seen in years. A Reddit.
There you go. So yeah, put
Tasha
it on your
says,
list.
I just watched it.
Oh wow.
Oh wait, definitely not the same movie. Were you thinking of The Forest?
Oh God.
Yeah, I assume all of us will probably walk away, except for maybe Chris. I think Chris's list may outshine all of us. But I do think we'll all be walking away with movies to watch because I haven't heard of this one, Paul.
Yeah, I would definitely put that one on your list. I thought it was a very well done, intense horror / thriller sort of thing.
Yeah. Huh,
Yeah, it's got like a pseudo almost apocalypse, like at the apocalypse kind of vibe,
right.
Yeah, things are falling apart and everybody's losing their shit.
Yeah.
Oh, sounds like a good time then.
Well, you sold me with Elliot Page and Evan Rachel Wood.
I was there with the people. I was
there you go. And by the way, I want to apologize for, I'm having camera trouble. I was nervous about making sure that I had a good internet connection. So I did a crazy thing, you guys. I'm going to a movie across the street. I'm in LA right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I rented a crappy motel room so that I could do this stream. So I'm coming to you right now from the cuck chair, actually, in the corner. So if it looks a little bit weird, that's why. I'm not at home, but I just wanted to let everybody know that's what's going on over here. If anyone wants to come over.
The only man who has ever rented a hotel room by the hour for something that is not creepy.
Oh, no.
I care about voices. I wanted to make sure I could get this right. So
the commitment, I love it.
We appreciate it.
We appreciate the love and commitment for sure.
Thank you.
I did not expect you to say that. That's hilarious. Let's see. Sorry, I was just trying to make sure I didn't catch it. Missy there. Okay. Hey, what's up? I love your style. Also review horror movies. Keep it up. P.S. What's your guys' favorite horror flick? All right, we'll do rapid fire. Paul, what's your favorite horror flick?
Night of the Living Dead.
All right, Lexi, what's your favorite horror flick? I already know this
The
one.
Exorcist and Nightmare on Elm Street.
All right, Chris, you got a favorite?
Yep, Pontypool.
Wow.
No joke. All right, Mika, you got a favorite?
Candyman.
Nice.
Oh, brilliant. All right, Mike, what's your favorite?
I think ours might be the same. The Blair Witch Project.
Blair Witch Project. I'm going to steal a different answer just because I never miss an opportunity to talk about this. I'm going to go Monster Project.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Okay. Very cool. All right, Lexi, what's your first one you want to chat about?
So I made a whole list because you said
Girl,
make
me
a
too.
list, and there I put it on the back of my phone.
Look, I had to be on brand. Look, it's like it's
Right.
lime green paper. Anyway, go ahead.
Now I'm sure we all have similar lists when it comes to the Blair Witch Project, Evil Dead, Cabin in the Woods. But I do want to touch on one that I felt like I liked the most out of my whole list. Besides the OGs, was Exists. I don't know if anybody's seen that.
Yes.
Oh, that was on my list.
I love Exist. We love it.
So
Yeah.
Exist, if anybody's never seen it, it's I'm if you've been over at Horror Fiend TV, we're it's the 3 corners of horror. I'm the honorary 4th corner. My corner subgenre fave is paranormal and exorcism. So I like the scary shit. However, Exist, I really was drawn to because I like, again, paranormal. What's out there? Aliens, ghosts, Bigfoot. So
Cryptids.
this really drew my attention, and it's a really good watch. It's fucking scary.
Yeah.
And just the way they run up and like monsterify up into your face, and just this, the straight up fear from the characters in the film. It's such a good watch. I had my daughter watch it today. I was like, what do you think of this film? She loved it.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah. And the way the characters get killed, it's just gruesome. A very good watch. Like I said, I think the lists are pretty similar. I also had Willow Creek, which was not a favorite of mine. I did not like
mine
it.
either. I hate that movie.
I have Willow Creek on my list.
I watched it today because I was trying to, widen my list. So I watched Willow Creek today, and I turned it the fuck off. It was horrible to watch it.
Bro,
if you want to watch,
people put that movie on a pedestal. So many people. And I'm like,
it's basically Blair Witch. You just take out the witch and put in Barefoot or Bigfoot, whatever. And also The Watchers is a good one if you've ever seen that one.
Oh,
I love
The Watchers.
One, right?
The Watchers is good too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not understand why it got so much hate because I watched it and I'm like, I actually really like this.
I really liked it too. Damn, that's a
like
good
Watchers
one. That's not
or
on my
Willow
list.
Watchers, yeah.
Watchers.
Oh, okay.
Watchers.
I was gonna say we might have to fight about Willow Creek.
Oh, we will because I love Willow Creek.
He loves
I
Willow
love
Willow Creek too.
Me
So
too.
does Chris. Chris is a fan as well.
Yeah.
Really? Oh, I
Willow
hated
Creek.
it. I'm sorry, guys.
That's a good shout. I can't believe I didn't have that one on here. That's a newer one. I did like that one.
Oh yeah, The Watchers. Yeah, it's definitely it was brought to my attention by JR from Harp TV.
Rob,
Rob, don't
that's
start with
not
me.
True. Don't
start with
comment
me,
in the
Rob.
Comments. That's not true, Rob. Tasha, have you seen that movie?
No, I thought it was good.
I liked
The
it.
Watchers was good.
Another example of PG-13 horror.
Now I will say Willow Creek started off good. I liked
It
the
did.
interview part, and then it just
Yeah,
yeah.
not a fan of that one.
No, me neither.
Yeah. All right, Chris, which one do you want to start with?
I'm going to go all the way back to the year of 1999. It's not the one you're thinking of. It's not the Blair Witch
The
Project.
year of our Lord.
Yeah.
I feel so
So
old.
I decided I needed to bring the weird to this conversation. So I said, well, what's a movie that took place in the woods that is also a period piece, a Western, a cannibal film, and a comedy that was written by the guys who created Ocean's 11? And that film is Ravenous, starring Guy Pearce
Good.
and Robert Carlyle. And the thing I
So
love about that
good.
one is, while there are several passages that take place in the woods, the thing about the movie that really works for me is that they're in an isolated little fort and there's just wilderness in every direction. So the wilderness actually, it becomes claustrophobic in some way because even though it's open, there's nowhere for anybody to go. So it's just this fort or endless wilderness in all directions. And I thought that was really great. And also, I think that movie is hilarious and people did not get it when it came out. And I think it deserves a reappraisal because the movie is genius. And the director, Antonia Bird, who is unfortunately no longer with us, she did a fantastic job directing that movie. And I always try to share that one with anybody who's never heard of it because it is unfortunately such a weird hybrid movie that most people are like, I don't know. I don't get it.
It's
I did not know where you were going with that. I don't know this movie.
It's got the guy that plays Rumpelstiltskin from, if anybody ever watched Once Upon a Time,
Once
he
Upon a
played
Time, I
Mr.
love him.
Gold.
Yes.
But I just saw this movie, not joking, Chris, for the first time 2 weeks ago because Radar and I are covering it for Underrated Horror Gems, and that was one of the movies he picked. Spoiler alert! It's our finale. It's our series finale for the show, but it was so good and it was hilarious. The music during some of the chases is just
the banjo music, the weird banjo,
it's so silly. You're like, it's almost like you're watching a cartoon.
No,
it's so good.
I thought you were going a different route, and I was like, wait, I don't know that movie.
I was on board, and then I'm like, it took a left, and I'm like, okay, I don't know where we're going.
I was like, Ravenous. I was like, that's not the movie.
Well, now I want to
Yeah.
know which one you were thinking of, Mika. What were you thinking
I don't
of?
even know now.
Oh,
You said Cowboys in the Woods, and I was like, I know this
Bro-
movie.
I was talking about Brokeback Mountain, obviously.
Yeah, I got it.
Or
Once
Tucker
you
and
said-
Dale. That's what I was kind
A
of
great
thinking.
movie.
Once you said cannibal, I was like, oh, Ravenous. I know this one. Yeah, that's a good
He
one.
said cannibals, and I was like, I'm out.
Yeah, the cannibal
no
threw me
more.
off. I was thinking
It's like,
Tucker and Dale,
damn.
and I was like,
No, oh,
That's it. That's what I was thinking. I was Tucker and Dale. That's what I was thinking.
Which
Yeah.
I
He
also
said
love.
cannibals,
It's
and I was
also
like,
a great
that's
movie.
not it.
that's a good one. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good shout. I liked that movie a lot. A lot of rewatch value, I feel like. So if the guys of y'all that haven't seen it, the guys of y'all, I'm from the South. I don't know what I'm saying. The ones of y'all, oh my God, that was even worse. People who've not seen this movie need to see it. You know what I'm saying? Moving on. I was just gonna see really quick if I need to. Maxwell says, awesome, great choices. Mine is Cat's Eye. That's one of you, Lexi, right?
I love Cat's Eye.
Tasha loves Exist. She said she
Mhm.
saw Watchers, was a little disappointed it wasn't as horror as she wanted it to be, but after she had time to think about it, she really liked it. Rob said agreed. Ravenous is incredible. Wow, Rob agreed with other people. That's a first. We love to
That's-
see it.
That's
He
the
says you're
second
just
horseman of the apocalypse, right? That's how you know the end is coming.
That's how you know.
The
That's
end
a
is
sign
near.
for sure. The end is near. It was not bad. I really liked that fairy movie. I thought it was super good. All right, Mika, which one did you want to start talking about?
Before we start, I do also want to say that it is thunderstorming here, so I may also have internet issues as well too. But for now, let's go with it. So I am going to take us back to 1981. We will go further. At Camp Blackfoot, where a mistake happens because of a prank, and then a year later he comes back and kills everyone. We're talking about The Burning. We're talking about a young Jason Alexander looking weird. Love this movie. And the crazy part is I do not even recall seeing this movie when I was younger.
Yeah.
I came across this movie when I think I was doing a top 5 and I needed camp movies, and this movie came up. So I watched it and I was like, how did I miss this one?
Yeah,
We watched it at work too.
This is a fantastic movie. Also, it has, I think, one of the best subversions of a slasher movie ever, which is like normally everybody gets killed off one at a time. There is a fantastic sequence with many, many deaths all at once that completely caught me off guard the first time I watched it. It's so good.
This is a top rate, like top tier slasher movie. Like when not a lot of people talk about The Burning, but top tier.
Yeah, I put this up there. This and Intruder are two of my favorite standalone slasher films. Like, take away all of the franchise players, and these are two of the best slashers of all time for me.
Yeah.
I love The Burning. Funny enough, shockingly enough, that was not on my list, but I'm glad we got to talk about it because I will always find time to talk about this movie. It is so good. The practical effects, like you said, that carnage scene is just so well done. I absolutely love this movie.
Yeah. Have you seen this one, Lexi?
No.
Oh,
No?
yeah, watch this one.
It's a good one.
See, that was the answer. Leaving and coming back. I fixed it.
Sorry about it.
You're okay. Don't even worry about it. Oh my God, my things are so crazy. There. I was trying to keep this thing more. I don't know what I'm doing. I actually have not seen this movie. I have not seen The Burning.
Oh, you need to.
Yeah,
You
need
said
to.
80s though, right? I'm not like I'm a little late to a lot of the older horror stuff because I watched mostly mainstream horror, and then when I became a grown up, I started watching. I started kind of backtracking. I just saw the Nightmare on Elm Streets for the first time. What, Lexi, 2 summers ago? It was the first
Right.
time.
And last summer was Friday the 13th for me. So
I still haven't seen all of those.
In my defense, I was born in the 90s. Yeah, I've only seen the first one. And Jason X and Freddy versus Jason, but I was born into that.
I feel old.
I was not born
I was
in the
born
90s.
when it came out.
Yeah. So when I did the camp live with you guys last year, I was like, and I dropped the bomb that I saw it for the first time. Everybody was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
The
Burning is a really fun summer camp slasher movie.
The
Okay.
Friday the 13th box set that Scream Factory put out a little while ago is fantastic. So if you're a physical media nut like me and you're looking to, run the whole series, that's a great box set that I think is usually on sale pretty regularly. So
Yeah.
highly recommend that.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I haven't seen all those. I've only seen like a couple. But I'll have to check out The Burning. I'm not like my forte is definitely not slashers, but I am a big Scream fan, and so I do like slashers. I also loved Intruder, which is also on Underrated Gems. I just saw that for the first time like a couple months ago before we started recording. Oh,
Thank
hi
you.
Pooks. That's our middle son. We love
Aw.
you. He's like, don't say that.
I
Sorry.
just had Kaylee watch Scream for the first time the other day. The OG
yeah.
one.
Did she love it?
She liked it a lot.
Yeah, Mason's favorite is the first. He started with 5 because Jenna Ortega, so we had to start there. But then we went back, and so far I think the only ones left are 4, and that's it. He's seen all the other ones. We did 5 and 6, and then we did 1, 2, and then we just did 3 this past weekend. So he's almost caught up. He's got one more to go. All right, Mike, you want to do your first one first, and then I'll go after you. Oh, I did have Exist
Yeah,
on
so
here.
I will take us all the way back to a couple months ago in 2025. This
Started
is
a
a
trend.
brand new movie that hit
Oh,
video on demand recently. So I won't do spoilers, but everybody needs to see Marshmallow.
I knew he was going to say Marshmallow.
I haven't even heard of this.
It is so good. It is about a young kid who doesn't have any friends, goes to summer camp, and hears this crazy campfire horror tale about a doctor, and eventually he starts to see this madman. And that's all I'm going to say, because this movie takes you on a genre journey to I don't know. If anyone saw where this movie went, I need to know what goes inside your head, because I was taken aback so hard. Like, I was in the theater with my jaw on the floor. That's how good of a twists and turns this movie had.
It was in the theater? Why have I never heard of this?
Me neither.
It was like a small release in the theater. And again, a lot of people are not talking about this movie, but it did just hit video on demand. So it is starting to gain a little traction now. And I'm here to help put the word out.
Dang.
Okay.
Yeah,
I watched the trailer. That counts.
I didn't even see the trailer. I didn't
Watch the trailer.
Cool.
Listen, I will. If anyone wants me to Venmo them like $6 to rent it, I will do it. That's how good this movie is.
Dang.
Only to the panel, not chat.
I'm gonna backtrack a few years to 2013 to a movie that I get like irrationally annoyed when people talk trash about. It's a PG-13 horror called Mama.
Oh.
The majority of the story is whole thing is definitely not right in the woods, but the bulk of it and the important stuff definitely happens in the woods. And so if you're not familiar, it's a story about these 2 little girls who are in a car accident of sorts. They end up in this little cabin, and this motherly spirit takes care of them when they're found by their uncle, and he takes them home. She follows. And it is so, like, as a mom, right? Like, this has so much layers to it. I think it's extremely underrated, because I think the like effects and everything look really good. I really love the story. I feel like it's got these very specific takes on motherhood that I don't think are talked about enough in general. And so I wanted to bring it up because, 1, I didn't think it'd be on anybody else's list, and 2, because every time someone talks about it, they always got some negative shit to say. And I love this movie.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, it's so
I love
good.
Mama. I cried at the end.
Yeah.
It's
JR
so
and
Not a horror movie.
On What's the Story.
Yeah, you
JR
know,
and I reviewed that one, and it's also on my list of like the saddest endings. Like the myths and all that. But yeah,
and a lot of love to Javier Botet, who plays Mama and is a fantastic actor who is unfortunately stuck behind makeup in almost every role he's ever been in.
Yes.
But he's a fantastic physical performer,
good.
like Doug Jones level performances.
I love Doug Coates. Yeah, iconic. Well, and they just in general, like I went to see it and I just didn't expect to love it as much as I did. And I think as I got a little bit older and I had, I have like kids now and it just hits very different, but it's just such a really good movie. It's creepy, it's got a good story, it's got a super sad ending. But I want to talk about it because I didn't think it would make anybody else's list was one of the main reasons. So I was like, well, this one will probably make
Yeah,
it.
that's
And
another one that I haven't heard of.
When people
No?
say PG-13
It's not on
can't
my
be
list.
scary,
Yeah.
Mama has some creepy factors to it.
Oh my
man.
God. Yes.
She was
very
like,
creepy.
he's angry. And she
Yeah.
came after them, and I was like, run.
I'm
It's
gonna
good.
do
Oh,
a
you should see it.
I'm gonna do a Mama and Marshmallow double feature night.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's
That'll be interesting. They
yeah.
sound like they're on two
Right.
very different sides of horror.
And there's some similarities there too.
Oh, weird. Okay, well, I'm intrigued.
Right.
Well, cool. Paul, what's one you want to talk about next?
Can we talk about Blair Witch 2 or is that off limits?
Oh my God, I love that one.
No.
Let's talk about it.
Bye.
No, I love it, Paul. The second one is better than the
Let's
first one.
go. Let's do
Yes.
it.
Look.
I wouldn't
can
say
remove
it's
you
that.
from this chat, okay? I
wouldn't say it's better than the first because the first is
Yes.
my favorite of all time. But I have a soft spot for Book of Shadows.
Same. And I know that that it's sacrilege to say that you like 2 better than 1,
Yeah.
but I think that over the last maybe, I don't know, handful of years, people have really started to come around to it a little bit more, and it's not like as controversial to say that
Yeah,
you
that's
actually
true.
like the movie anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's fun. I mean, they go back to the woods to see if they can spot the Blair Witch. But just the fact that Joe Berlinger did a totally different thing with it, I thought it was really bold. I'm really surprised that the studio even let them do that, as
Right.
opposed to just sort of like a retread of the first one. So I
Yeah.
like it for the meta aspect, and sort of the same reasons that probably a lot of other people like it. They just tried something really different. It flopped really hard. But I appreciate them trying.
Yeah.
I love a good resurgence story, like because that movie did flop. Like that
Right.
was
Did.
one of the
It did.
worst films. And like you said, I do see this resurgence in this movie. I do see people finally come out of the woodworks and go, it actually wasn't that bad.
Right.
It's
I
kind
feel
of
like
pretty cool.
That happens with a lot of other horror movies too. People are like, that's the worst movie. There's no Michael Myers. And now everybody's like, oh, I love Season of the Witch. I'm like, yeah, well, I loved it before it was cool. That and found footage. So
Right. Yeah. It's a little more, it's a little more in vogue now to say that you're a
Yeah.
Blair Witch 2 fan.
that's true. Yeah.
Do you
I
guys
can see
remember?
that.
I don't know how much anybody even remembers this, but do you remember when it came out? There was the big talk about Ezravere, which was the whole thing about the reverse
Yes.
footage. And I remember
Oh,
they were talking about it like it was such a huge deal, and so I bought the disc to find out what it was about. And I was like, wait a minute, this is literally just rewinding scenes. That's all it is.
I remember
It
that.
was cool, but like I remember, I was thinking like it was going to be the next coming. The way that the promo was
The
talking
way that
about,
they
it. I was
pitched
so
it, yeah.
excited.
I appreciate you bringing that up, Chris, though, because like the DVD for Blair Witch 2 is so jam-packed with like special features, and like I have one that has a soundtrack CD that came with it, and I even have a little booklet that has like Blair Witch merch. You can get like beanies and stuff. So I think part of the reason I like it so much is just because it's from that era where
yeah.
movies were really trying to give you a really great physical media experience, and there's so
Yeah.
much, like The Secret of S. Rever and everything, and there's so many little clues in the movie of just like little fun little Easter eggs and nuggets and stuff.
Yeah.
That to me, it's the little things that makes that movie so fun.
Yeah. I don't like that movie. Rose says,
She's
got
like,
Blair
at the
Witch
end of the
20
day, I don't like it.
I know. Everybody's used to me by now. Everybody knows that they can. It's just part of the charm, as it were. All right, Lexi, what else you want to talk about? What you got next?
I definitely want to talk about Evil Dead. It's just an OG. It's so
Sure.
great. It's a classic.
Yeah.
I do love. There's not a lot of films that like take, a remake and actually be good. So I like the OG and the remake of Evil Dead. Obviously we know what it's about, and if you haven't seen it, what is wrong with you? First of all. And two, it takes place cabin in the woods, basically. And sinister things happen. So for anybody that hasn't seen it, which is pretty rare, but just the slight chance nobody has, I won't go any further, but sinister shit happens in those woods. And it's I saw this when I was very, very young, probably way too young, maybe 5 or older.
Wow.
But yeah,
Well,
I was raised by my mom, who's in the comments.
Everybody be nice.
She's the horror queen. Okay, so I was raised by.
She's opposite of you. Is it your mom that's opposite of you? Like,
no.
do you really like Freddy? Who is it that likes?
Oh, my mom. Yes, so
it is your
Jason
mom. Okay.
fan, and I'm Freddy fan. So
that's right.
We're like Freddy versus Jason in the house.
Love that.
That's awesome.
Now, going back last year, watching Friday the 13th for the first time, I now see why she likes Jason so much. I love the story with, Miss Voorhees. Anyway.
She said you saw Exorcist at 5?
Yes. Hell yeah.
Wow.
I had no choice. I was raised by this scary woman.
My mom wouldn't let me watch that either.
Yeah.
I love you, Mom, and happy
I
birthday.
did not see
Tomorrow's
Exorcist.
her birthday. So.
Oh, happy
Happy
early
birthday.
Happy
Happy birthday.
Yeah. No, I didn't see Exorcist until I was like a grown up. My introduction, I was like 4 and I saw Poltergeist, but that does not compare.
No, I saw Poltergeist, Exorcist, Evil Dead. And here I am today.
Exorcist.
Same.
That movie still scares me, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm definitely, that's insane. She said, "Thank you, everybody."
My mom wouldn't let me. She wouldn't let me
Evil
watch that.
Dead.
No, my mom wouldn't let me watch stuff either. I had to go to my sister's house.
She let me watch Nightmare on Elm Street 1 and 2 at the age of 5.
But not Exorcist?
No, not The Exorcist. Matter of fact, we had a conversation about Evil Dead. And because I mentioned it to her, because I didn't see Evil Dead until I turned like 21. And I rented it from the video store. And but she told me the story that her and my dad watched Evil Dead and it scared the bejesus out of them. So they was like, nah, our kids can't watch this. So but I told her, I said, you do realize that the living room was right next to our bedroom? We could hear everything. So I'm just sitting there like,
sounds like just as scary.
Right, yeah. No, but it's
I don't know what's happening, but I hear a chainsaw.
Right. It's definitely a 5 out of 5 film. It's perfect. With the scare, the gore. I definitely don't trust any cabin in the woods because of that movie.
No, sure.
At all.
Yeah.
The remake did such a great job.
I love that one.
Slightly different on the storyline, but still same concept, and they did a great job. I think there's so many films that remake a lot of our old films, but this was one of the ones where it's like top notch. They did a great job. However, Evil Dead Rise is a different story.
That was such a disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
Your mom says that you would watch a horror movie and then a Disney movie before bed.
Yes.
I have to do that sometimes as a grown up, so I feel
that's what you do as an adult.
I'm like, let me find something funny to watch for a little bit before I make
turn on Tom and Jerry before I go to bed.
There you go. That's perfect. All right, Chris, what you got next you want to talk about?
Yes. Well, I did want to just say, I think Evil Dead is probably the most appropriate movie we'll talk about here because I think it's the only one any of us are going to talk about where the actual woods itself attacks the characters in the movie.
Yes. True.
Very horrifically, too.
Horrifically. Yes, for sure.
All right. So the next one I want to talk about is from 2012 AD. It's directed by Katie Aselton, and she's also in it. Stars Lake Bell, Kate Bosworth as a trio of friends who decide to go out to a little island called Black Rock to hang out together for a night. They haven't seen each other in a long time, so they're reuniting for a girls' weekend. And they happen to run into a group of 3 guys who are out partying and drinking. The party goes poorly. One of the guys is clearly maybe a little messed up. He just got back from the theater of war. Things escalate. There's an attempted assault that turns into an accidental murder that turns into a hunt. And the girls end up basically on the run from some psychopathic dudes on an island in the middle of nowhere, and all they have is one rowboat they can't get to. It is a fantastic survival thriller on a wilderness island in the middle of nowhere with a really strong cast, lead actresses. Lake Bell is mostly known for comedy stuff. She was on Children's Hospital, and she does a lot of voiceover work. So this is the only like serious drama work I've ever seen her do, and she's fantastic in it. So is Kate Bosworth. It's the most I've ever liked her. I don't know if that's saying much. That's damning with faint praise, but I thought she was very good in it. And yeah, it's a survival horror thriller, and I thought it was really great. It's rare that you get a movie like this that doesn't feel reductive and it doesn't feel exploitative, and I don't feel like it was either of those things. Probably because Katie Hazelton was the one that directed it. It wasn't a dude that made it.
Yeah.
I've never even heard of this.
Black Rock?
Black Rock, yeah.
Stressful.
Really?
Yes, it is stressful, but it's so good.
I like Lake Bell a lot, so I got to check this out.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah,
never
she's
heard of
like I
that.
said, she's
Add
fantastic.
that to the list.
And there is an
Yeah.
actor in here, and his
Write
name is
that
Jay Paulson. He's a fantastic actor. He plays one of the sort of the unhinged dudes. And if anybody has ever watched Mad Men, he plays Don Draper's
I
younger
was going to say
brother
that
in
name
Mad
sounds
Men.
familiar. Okay.
He's a phenomenal actor, and it's insane to me that he's not more well known than he is. I saw him in this, and then I saw him in a found footage film called Lucky Bastard, and then a couple of TV appearances, and almost nothing else. But he's so good. He clearly seems like a method actor because he really gets into the role deeply. But anyway, fantastic movie. I highly recommend it to anybody.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, you said no one was going to know any of the movies.
Well,
That's what I
tried to
love,
throw-
though.
Yeah, my most mainstream film was Ravenous, if that gives you an idea of where we're headed.
Tasha says, "Can I
Oh,
count the ruins
yes.
as kind of tropical forest?"
Yeah.
I would say the
Yes.
ruins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
a good one.
I would say anything like tropical, rainforest, and even jungle still kind of counts.
Yeah. Tasha and I did like a jungle themed like combo movies where I think correct me if I'm wrong, Tasha. She picked the ruins and then I did Predators with Adrian Brody. And we did like where we talked about, like those two movies. And that was actually my first watch of Ruins. So that was 2 summers ago when I saw that for the first time. That's pretty good.
I love
That
the
definitely
ruins.
counts. That
Right.
definitely counts. All right, Mika, what you got next that you want to talk about?
Come with me into a time machine. I'm joking. It's just 2 years ago. No, it's not even 2 years ago. I'm wrong. It's like a while ago, 2017.
Oh Lord.
Where 4 friends go hiking in Sweden
Oh,
to honor a friend
on my
that
list.
died, and they
That's on my
get lost in the woods. And the woods come alive, and a Wendigo shows up, and everything hits the fan.
yeah.
And then troops come out.
Yeah.
The ritual.
The ritual.
Oh, yeah.
True.
Boy, it's been a minute.
That is a classic way to undersell a fantastic truths come out.
Tasha said the
That's-
ritual.
That's a great movie, man. That's so good.
I hated the ritual on my first watch. And I gave it, so I was like, everybody kept talking about it. I was like, I need to just revisit. First of all, I'm obsessed with Wendigos. I have a giant one tattooed on my arm. Big fan. Actually, there's one right here too. He keeps me safe. And like, I was like, I don't know. I hated it so much. And so I was like, all right, you know what? Fine. I'm going to rewatch it. I've been watching different stuff. I'm out of just the mainstream, like cookie cutter stuff. Let me check it out. I did like it a lot more on the rewatch than I did the first time that I ever saw it. That's a good one. That one's on my list.
Yeah.
I
So
put Ritual on here.
there's 2 things I love about that movie. The first one is that the design, the creature design,
So
is
good.
phenomenal. But they do a really cool thing in that movie, which is the way that they go back and forth between what's happening in the moment and the traumatic memory that he keeps wandering back into. It's really fantastically executed.
good.
That it was very hard. They probably had to set up part of a practical location in the woods in order to do a transition like that. And the amount of work they put in to get stuff like that, it's just so,
It's
I don't know.
good.
It's really effective. It puts you inside the heads of the characters in a great way.
Yeah. No, I totally
The ritual
agree.
to
That's
me
good
was
shit.
like a psychological mind mess upper. Then we go.
Messed her up. I agree. Yeah. Yeah. And it's an interesting thing too, because I remember starting out at the beginning of the movie, I'm like, you could have do nothing to help your friend. But as the journey kind of goes through and you start to genuinely, I think, become, at least for me, I started to become a little bit more, sympathetic to him. And I was like, okay, like, you don't deserve all this. Like it's, in the moment you think like, oh, if I were in that position, but you don't ever know. When you're in the position, you do something totally different than you ever thought you would. And so it gains perspective as it goes through the story. And I think that it handles that level of grief and guilt. I think it handled those 2 topics like really, really well. Yeah.
I have to
Especially
say
from
I'm-
like a men's mental health side of things.
I'm kind of mad that there's a new movie coming out called The Ritual. I don't think that they should be allowed to you call it something else. Come on.
Yeah, like you retire a jersey number when somebody. Yes.
I love it. You can't use our name.
Right.
Yeah. Well, what is the other one? The Invitation. There's two movies
Oh gosh.
Yeah, called
called
The
The
Invitation.
Invitation. One is like
Yeah.
a dinner, I think it's like a psychological slasher thriller, something like that. I
So
haven't seen
good.
it. I've seen the
At a
poster.
dinner party.
And then there's the vampire one, which I don't care, is like a guilty pleasure. I had so much fun with that movie. It was
love
so
it.
I
fun.
like that movie too.
It was fun, but I feel like people were like about it. I'm like, y'all, it's a vampire, it's a romantic vampire movie. I can't. What do you want from people these days? But I like.
They wanted the vampire to sparkle. That's what they wanted.
This gave you not that. But
They
it
wanted
had
him
the
to
same name.
sparkle.
They had two different, completely different sides of horror, and it was the same name. And I remember people bitching about that when it came out. They're like, it shouldn't be called. So I agree. It's very confusing. We just covered A Stranger in the Woods for Found Footage Fridays, and I was like, do you know how many titles are so similar to this title?
Yeah.
I was like,
You know,
ugh.
as a filmmaker, I'm usually a pretty big proponent of doing everything you can to give your film a interesting title that you're pretty sure that nobody else has, you know, because if you call your film like The Chair or something, there's 30,000 other movies called that, and you're going to get lost in the shuffle. So from almost from a business standpoint, I don't think it's a good idea. Unique. Yeah.
I agree with that. All right, Mike, what you got next that you want to talk about?
Man, so this is starting to get hard to choose of what to talk about. But since we are in June and I love my queer horror,
yes.
I have to bring up a lesbian survivalist thriller that I think is so phenomenal and underseen still. It is called What Keeps You Alive.
Oh, I haven't heard of this.
I love that
movie.
This movie, oh my God, it was something very special when I first watched it. It came on Netflix, I think.
Never heard of it.
That's the first time I saw it was on Netflix. And I'm watching it. It's a lesbian couple. They're out in the woods. It's one of the women's like childhood or adolescent vacation home or something. And they're married. And well, someone comes to their house and immediately drops a bombshell without dropping a bombshell that really throws the viewer like, you just gasp. And it's something so subtle that shouldn't be that jarring or scary. But it is, because if you were in this situation and someone said what this person said about your significant other, your spouse, I think that becomes one of the scariest things, because so many questions are running through your mind. And then it just takes off from there. I don't want to give too much away, but it just becomes something so unpredictable till it gets, I will give that it gets a little predictable once it goes towards the end, but it still delivers such a great story, such a great thrill ride. And again, if you are creating a thriller, the most important part is to be thrilled and filled with suspense. And that's what this movie does. I love this movie.
Yeah, there's one part that made me mad. I was like, why? Why?
Yeah, there were some bad decision making.
Okay, well, that's
a
also,
thing.
Yeah.
Angel, if this helps as a found footage fan, you might want to know that it's directed by Colin Minahan, one of the two guys that made Grave Encounters.
Oh, okay. I know the name. Yeah, I've never heard of this one either. That's the point, though. That's the fun thing about how everybody's seen different shit. My stuff is usually more mainstream. I'm usually the one that's like Blair Witch.
This one is so good. I think you'll like it.
Yeah. No, I'm sure I will. I don't know which one I want to talk about. Let's see. I'm gonna do. You know what? I'm gonna do another one that everybody hates. Another PG-13 horror. No, is it PG? No, it's not PG-13. It's Radar. No, maybe I don't remember. 2004. Another Adrian Brody film. The Village.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
I like The Village.
I like it.
People have issues with this, but I always think first of all, the acting in this is so good. And I remember seeing it for the first time and being so scared of those stupid porcupine monsters in the Red Hoods. So scared, so scared. And she goes into the little shed and she touches. This is an old movie, so I'm sorry if this is like this is 20. It's old. And like she touches the thing. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? And then she gets to the other side of that little fence, and I was like, oh my god! Like this movie had me, like literally at the edge of my seat the entire time that I was watching it. I was so invested in the characters. I cared so much about their story and what they were doing. I was worried for their safety. I was confused and mad, and I was all the things, right? And it's just, it's one of the last couple where he was able to do that kind of twist thing that he did with The Sixth Sense. Like this was one of the ones where it had something happen that I just don't, I would never believe anybody if they were like, oh, I knew it was going to be. You knew that she was going to get over and there's going to be a truck over there? I don't think you knew that. Like, there's no way because they play it so close. And it's just, I just think it's one of those things. Everybody's like, I hate that movie. It's literally like my favorite M. Night Shyamalan movie. It's my favorite.
Wow.
Like it's so good. I like it more than I like The Sixth Sense. And I love that movie. But this one was my favorite. It was the one that had me the most, but like literally heart, like, I was so invested in this. And God, when she goes in there after Adrian Brody's character has stabbed what's his name and she hits him, y'all, shambles. So good. And I know it's one, like I said, I know so many people hate it. So I was like, bring it up. So The Village, that was my next one.
His latest one, Knock at the Cabin, would mostly be considered woods horror as well, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one because I kept hearing how bad it was, and I saw Old, and I was like,
I love it. I love Knock at the Cabin.
I love Knock at the Cabin.
Yeah,
I just kept hearing how
love that
bad
one.
it was.
If for no other reason than to see Dave Bautista's performance, it's worth watching.
Facts.
Phenomenal.
Yes.
I'm also M. Night Shyamalan's like strongest warrior. I will defend him up and down because I think he does no wrong. All the movies everyone hates. I love The Happening. I love Old.
I love The Happening.
I love all of those movies.
I didn't like Old.
M. Night Shyamalan.
I did not like Old. Signs.
I love him.
Signs. Signs is so good.
Yeah.
So good. And what's the other? There's another. What's the other? The water one with the hotel.
Lady in the Water.
Lady in the Water. I like that one too.
I like The Visit.
The Visit is so good.
Love that one.
Yeah, I'm probably the world's biggest M. Night Shyamalan fan who's not liked most of his movies. I really like M. Night Shyamalan, but I think he's a great director and a terrible writer, and God bless him. I want him to keep making movies even if I don't like them.
I like 50-50. I don't like any. I didn't like Trap.
Yeah, I love that one.
Like
I love
Old.
Yep.
I didn't like, but I love all the older stuff. I really did like a lot of the older stuff. But The Village for me was like his best movie because it's one of those like things where I just remember just being like guffawed at this transition from being in this certain period piece, right, to like modern times. And he's like, she's the only one that can go. And I'm like, that she's blind. That doesn't make any sense at all. And then it makes like all the sense. And you're like, oh, okay, I understand now. But I love The Village. I am also a really big fan of his. I'll keep watching his stuff. I will. I forgot. I just rewatched Signs not that long ago. I forgot how funny that movie is. That is a funny movie. The stuff that they say to each other, the dialogue, hilarious. Absolutely funny. Anyway, I want to talk about The Village. All right, Paul, you got another one you want to talk about?
Yeah, I think I'll probably have to make this my last one for the evening.
Sure thing. Yeah.
And apologies in advance, Angel. I think I'm about to piss you off.
Oh no!
Impossible. We already talked about Book of Shadows. Go ahead.
I think we got to talk about In a Violent Nature.
I haven't seen that. That would have made me mad. I haven't seen it. I don't watch
Okay, I
movies
wasn't
like that.
sure. We
That
had
was
talked
my-
about it last
That was my
time, and
review.
I couldn't remember where we landed on it.
Well, you had told me, you and Sierra suggested that I give it a chance because it had more to it than I was thinking it did. And then
Right.
I promised I was going to watch it, and then I just never got to it. But it is one that I will eventually probably watch. I have not seen it yet, though.
I don't know if it's because maybe I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer sometimes, but It's so slow and it's so plotting and it's so like kind of simplistic in a way. I think that's kind of the point of it.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it because the kills, like if you are into gnarly kills, like that has one of the gnarliest kills I've seen in probably the last
Okay.
10 years.
Okay.
So if that's your cup of tea, I think you could do a lot worse than In a Violent Nature. I heard
Okay.
that there's some sort of new like steel book coming out, and I'm very excited
Oh,
for it.
I bet. I know you're a big
Yeah.
physical media guy.
Yeah.
I will say I saw it on the big screen, and I think that does make a difference in the experience of watching the film. The soundscape and the large image made a big difference. But I will say it was one of my favorite movies of last year, and I think
Really?
it's rare that I find something in a slasher film that's new to say about a slasher film. And the thing I thought was interesting about this one, aside from the fact that I'm a big ASMR fan, and that's kind of like what this movie was.
It really is.
Yeah. But the other thing I liked about the movie was it's the first time I've seen that simply by switching the perspective of a movie, it takes a character from a monster to a tragic figure in a way that I hadn't really seen explored, in a way that was, I thought, significant and interesting. And it also kind of touches on the idea of like how characters are trapped in roles for reasons beyond their control. And I thought that was really interesting. Simply by shifting the perspective, it said some really interesting stuff that I wouldn't have expected from a slasher movie.
I think that's kind of what Sierra said, Paul. She said something similar about the perspective, I think, or maybe it was you. One of y'all did.
Yeah,
I mean, Chris, you know, maybe go back and watch it.
I'm sorry.
And I think the perspective shift, while it gives you something new, for me, it actually was what kind of like was the detriment to this movie, because you lose everyone else. So in slashers, we're supposed to care and know more about the victims, the people that are getting taken off. And I stopped caring because I didn't know anybody, didn't care about anybody.
Yeah.
So this movie was an ASMR walking simulator, and that's all.
No, that's a fair point. The only thing I will say is I do think there was a victim in the film. It was just the one we were following.
Correct.
And I also think it's an interesting commentary in the sense that we did see those other characters, and the amount of character that you need to know who those stock cliches are fit into 6 minutes of screen time. And in a way, I thought that was kind of an interesting commentary on how thinly created often the characters are. You see them in 6 minutes and you know, okay, there's your jock, there's your sex pot, there, you know what I mean? Like you immediately know who everyone is, and you didn't really need the rest of it, because that is often in a slasher film what it is filler. And I thought, what an interesting way to make that commentary. But but I don't disagree with you.
Go watch it again.
I will not.
It's
watch it at 2x speed. That'll help.
Chris said ASMR. I think, you know, like a lot of people have their horror comfort movies. I think for me, this is sort of like falls in that category of like there's, you know, not a lot of dialogue for long stretches, and it is just one of those things that you can have on and like kind of have pay attention to it if you want to. But the first time I watched it, I was like enthralled the entire time. I think because of just how different it was and sort of like the different perspective and everything. So
very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will watch it, and I'll probably watch it from home, and I'll probably message you while I watch it, Paul.
Please do. Please
just
do.
be like, here's my thoughts as I watch it.
You'll have the time to live message throughout that film.
You will.
You'll have the time.
As he's walking really slowly, just be like, okay, so.
Yeah, you have to be the kind of person who really appreciates slow cinema to be into that movie. So.
Yes.
Okay, we'll see. Did you need to jump off, Paul? I know you have a movie you're trying to get to. I didn't want you to be rushed, but it's up to you.
No, I'm going to Vidiot's. I'm in LA. I'm going to Vidiot's to see a movie called Little Darlings. I'm really excited about it.
That's awesome.
Oh, Paul, by the way, I love your shirt.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. We should all hang out at the Dawn of the Dead Mall sometime.
Oh, that would be a cool meet and greet, like meetup, not meet and greet, meetup. That would be cool.
Yeah, that would be great. And who knows how much longer we have, you know, because Walmart bought the mall, and so they're trying to figure out the future of it. And you know, there's a big push right now to save the mall. So I love going out there. Yeah, I mean, like we got to do something to you know, to preserve it, because obviously for George Romero fans, it's Mecca. So hopefully they get something worked out. Yeah. But it's been great hanging out with
Thanks
everybody.
for making
was nice
time and for
meeting
doing
you.
the
Yeah.
hotel
Nice
thing.
meeting you.
And I wanted to say really quick before I went to Chris, I've really been enjoying your show. If you haven't checked out, we gotta plug Found
Yeah.
Footage Finds.
Mhm.
I love that. At first, I'm like, is it going to be just stuff that's on Found, and I started watching. I'm like, no, this is like a really deep dive where you do stuff
Yes.
like that a lot of people know about, but also stuff kind of like this chat tonight, where like stuff that I've never heard of before, and I really appreciate the mix that you're doing with it.
Yeah.
But not
Well-
to keep you too long, Paul, but since you had to plug Found Footage
We gotta
Finds,
plug Hunter. Yeah.
why are you not? Can you please plug something that you have done that fits into this category?
Yes.
I don't know what you're talking about, Mike. What? Oh, Hunting for the Hag. Yeah. Yes.
The
If
movie
you,
he directed.
And acted in. He's
Yes.
a real questionable character in this movie.
unfortunately, yeah. I
In
mean,
this movie, sure.
if you're in the mood for more found footage woods horror, you can check out Hunting for the Hag on Tubi, and it's on Amazon Prime and Plex and kind of all the different streaming platforms. And we're going to have a big announcement right around the corner about a physical media release too, so stay tuned for that.
Yeah, we'll boost
Yeah,
it for sure.
Paul, we gotta
Yeah.
talk. We're gonna talk later, man. We gotta talk.
Sure.
Project.
Yeah,
Talk about working
absolutely.
on something together.
And me and Mike are going to hang out in Chicago soon too.
Yes.
Oh, I'll just fly up. I'm in Florida.
Yeah, Chris, come on.
Sweet. All right, guys.
All right, Paul. Have a good time. See you
Thank
later.
you.
Bye.
See ya.
See ya. All right, Lexi, what you got next that you want to talk about?
This is also my last one, and then I gotta hop off.
No worries. No worries.
One that just came to mind when you guys were talking about ASMR and quiet dialogue, and it just hit me. What year is it? 2022, and it's called "You Won't Be Alone."
Yes.
I don't know if you've seen that one. Yes, it is. So it was hard for me to watch at first, but it was introduced to me by JR. And we actually talked about it over at What's Your Story over at Horror Fiend TV.
Yeah.
I actually appreciated it after maybe watching it twice. But if you don't know the story, You Won't Be Alone is basically like, I think it goes back into the 19th century in Macedonia. And there's like a creature who's trying to become human again because I can't remember exactly everything, but I believe she was human at one point and someone had killed her child, unfortunately.
I think that's right. Yeah.
Right. Someone killed her child, so she's out for revenge, and the way to do that is to come to human form. But there was also like a part of her that, if I remember correctly, still wanted to find like life and be human and work and find love and stuff like that. But when she ends up killing somebody in the village and becoming that woman's body, it's just really silent the entire film. But it's beautifully shot. The cinematography is beautiful. It's in the woods, so there's a lot of her being naked in the woods, and a lot. But she does find a village, and slowly, people started to realize she was weird because her like skin would tear a little bit, and so she would have to cover up that she's a creature, and then she would basically get out of the skin and kill somebody else to become someone else. So and at one point she was a female first, she becomes a man as well, and then a child as well. So I liked it. It was really cool. Very creepy because of the fact that this creature is, coming in and out of skin to be human. I appreciated it. You didn't like it, Angel?
I hated it. I didn't finish it.
No? Oh, wow.
No, I was bored to death.
Yeah,
I do
it's
not like
definitely quiet.
Slow
It's a
burn
silent
are
film.
not for me. Like there are some that work really well.
Yeah.
That was not one of them. I need things happening. I need it to be
Right.
moving. I need stuff
Right.
going on.
That's what I felt at first, but then
Yeah.
I listened to the story and I could see why she was finding revenge, but also I understood the creature. I get it.
No,
But it was slow.
I didn't get that far depth wise. I was like, I don't like this, and I turned.
Okay,
I will-
Angel and I are so different because Angel will DNF a movie. She will
I will.
stop it.
So me and
She
her
will-
have
Angel
have
are
argued
spirit
a lot.
animals.
Yes, trust me.
I
Listen,
This
we
city
have
is
to
five.
consume. This is the thing. We have to consume so much horror as the content creators that do horror.
Yeah.
The last thing I ever want to happen to me, or really anybody, is I don't want to get burned out. If I continue to force my way through media that I hate consuming, I will not I will not love doing this anymore. And so like
Right.
and it's hard because I made a promise when I started doing Found Footage Fridays a couple years ago. I was like, gotta do the look, gotta watch the movies. You have to. It's all part of the thing. Even if it's bad, you need to be honest. You need to talk about it. And there's only been one movie in that time frame that was, and surprisingly, it was not one of the ones we just covered, because that I came close with that one. But there was one movie where I was like, I'm not doing this. I don't have it in me today, because found footage is 90% crap, and then the 10% is the really good, fun stuff, and it's so freaking hard to like pick through. But yeah, so when I don't like something, I've got like 2 hours of my time. I'm like, nope, I'm out.
I'm a
Out.
completionist. I gotta finish. I gotta
Like,
follow
I'll just
through.
I mean-
suffer. I don't care.
And I'd be horrible because I posted on Thread and be like, I'm now watching. And then I won't like, you'll know when I didn't finish it, because I will leave no review underneath it. Like, just know that you will not get there. If there's not a review underneath that movie, I did not finish it. And I'm not even gonna tell you I didn't finish it.
I do the same thing. I do. And I'll go on and I'll be like, never mind, I'm now watching this one.
Me too. Me too.
I
I'm
will
like,
say-
now watching. 28 minutes later, now watching something else.
I will say, Lexi, I agree with you. I liked the tone of it. And I also think the actress, Numi Rapace, did a really good job. That's the lady who was in the
that's that
original,
girl
from the original girl with the
Prometheus.
dragon tattoo. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. She's really
I
good.
might
wait,
have to watch
does
this
it-
one because
the
I thought
girl-
it was.
hold
I
on.
thought I
I
saw
thought-
it, but as you described it, it's not what I was thinking of. So I'm gonna definitely watch that one because I like the
I
way you sold it. It sounds, and I love a good slow burn, and nothing
Right.
has to happen, and I can still enjoy it. So
It's definitely worth the
thought-
watch. It's kind of
okay,
similar
yeah,
to
we're
The
talking
Witch.
about the same. We're talking about the same person. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I was
Numi
thinking of the
Rapace.
girl from Prometheus, and you said dragon tattoo, and I was like, who? What?
Yeah. She was in the original dragon tattoo, not the remake.
I got you, not the remake. And so,
Yeah.
and then she was the main scientist
In
lead
Prometheus, yep.
in Prometheus. I love her.
Yep.
No, she was. I saw her, but by that point I was checked out, and I was like, I love you, but I gotta go. Like I can't finish this movie, and so I just didn't finish it. That's as far as I got is when she took her.
It
ball.
was hard because it was so quiet, and I was like,
It
"What in the
is.
hell is JR making me watch?" But
Yeah.
I ended up appreciating it because of the story, and that's why it ended up on our show. What's your story? Because it did have a beautiful, sad story.
I think that's why people like it.
And the
Yeah.
creature, I liked the fact that it was transforming from, female, male, child. It was good. I won't ever watch it again, but it was good.
Good. Me neither. I didn't even get through it the first time. I do know a lot of people do like it. I think it's very artful, right? I think it's more meant to
It's
be like
definitely,
a,
if you got to appreciate the art, the storyline, and just the quietness
I get
of it.
that. I get that.
But
All right, Lexi.
I love you guys. It was nice meeting
Thanks,
you.
Lexi.
Well,
nice
I'm glad
meeting
you were able to
you.
make it.
All right.
Yeah.
And if Tasha's still in the comments, I love you.
Yeah. I put Lexi's link on Instagram where you can follow her in the description as well. So you can check it
Yeah.
out too. All right, Lexi, we have a
Nice
good night.
meeting
We'll talk to you
everybody.
later. Bye.
Bye.
See ya. And then there were
And
four.
there were four.
Yeah, it's like a slasher movie up in here.
We are spirit animals. Okay. Spirit. That's not it. Is that what you
Yeah.
said?
Spirit animals. Yes.
Animals. Okay, just make sure I was
Spirit
saying the right thing. I never say the right things.
Patron
All right,
saints.
so I was giving Mike a hard time because we were voice chatting about different things yesterday, and he called the Sacred Crypt Awards the Spirit Awards, and I was like, "Did you just call them something?"
I did. Yeah, I was voice chatting her. I was like, "Well, yeah, our Spirit Awards," and she's like, "Did you just call the Sacred Crypt Spirit Awards?" And I'm like, "Yeah." At this
He
point,
said, "I gotta get it out my system before we do the."
it's better to do it now than when we're actually announcing.
Oh, that was that. I was laughing so hard. Oh, it's not my turn. What am I doing? All right,
Yeah,
Chris, what
Chris.
you got next that you want to talk about? We'll do this. We'll finish this round, and then we'll do some rapid fires, extra mentions, and then we'll wrap up.
Okay. So the next one I'm going to do is I don't know if everybody would call it a horror film. I think they'd probably call it an action thriller, but
Okay.
people get eaten by bears, so I feel like that counts as horror. This is a film from back in 1997.
Oh,
It stars
maybe I thought
some
it was.
enormously famous actors, so it's kind of crazy to me that people don't talk about this movie anymore. Anthony Hopkins and Alec Baldwin versus Bart the Bear in 1997's The Edge.
I've never seen this.
So that movie, first of all, it's crazy that this movie exists because it was written by David Mamet, famed playwright who writes movies about toxic dudes. And he wrote this movie about a rich guy and this photographer who's taking pictures of his trophy wife. And they go up in a plane. And then, and this is not spoiler because it's the first few minutes of the movie. I think birds hit the props. They crash. The pilot dies. And then basically the two of them and another fantastic character played by Harold Perrineau are trapped in the woods in the middle of nowhere. Nobody knows where they are and know how to find them. And so they've got to survive. And of course, a bear is on their scent. So they don't just have to survive. They have to kill this thing if they want to live. And so it's about two guys woefully unprepared to be in the woods who have to figure out how to muster the ability to survive against nature's deadliest monster.
I thought you were going for 2018 for a minute
Backcountry?
there.
You think
No,
it was Backcountry?
Annihilation.
Oh, okay.
I also thought he was going for Grizzly too, but I know this movie as well too.
I love that we all thought something different because I was going with Cocaine Bear.
Oh, I love Cocaine
Oh,
Bear.
I like to
Okay,
walk
Bear.
everybody up to the point where they think they know what I'm talking about and then throw a massive curveball.
That you
Um,
did. You did.
It was
I
up until you
like,
said
oh,
Anthony Hopkins. I was like, Anthony Hopkins is not in Grizzly.
I know.
Dang.
Yeah, I was out once you said the year. I was like, oh, not Annihilation.
But yeah, it's a wild movie. It's directed by Lee Tamahori, who is a New Zealand filmmaker who directed one of the James Bond movies, and he's got amazing action chops. And I don't think Anthony Hopkins has ever been better. The dialogue in this movie is great because it's written by
I
a
love
playwright,
him.
and it's a lot of fun in a way that I would not have expected a two-hander of dudes versus a bear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, bear attack movies are amazing. I love bear attack
Well, and in
movies.
this one, it's like legit bear. Like I said Bart the Bear, not as a joke. Like he's one of the most well-known trained bears. He worked for like 25 years in movies. He's been,
Wow.
if you've seen a bear in a movie, it was probably
him.
Bart. Yeah.
I want to say he was in Bart the Bear was also in Grizzly as well too.
Yes.
I wanna
Yeah.
say
You're right.
that, Yeah.
FYI, viewers, anything you can find Chris Vander talking about horror, go watch it because the way he talks about horror, he is a horror film historian. I love
You just be
listening
throwing
to
these
him
names
talk
and
about
stuff out. I'm like, I
horror.
don't know what you're talking about.
So
I just think
shut
it looked
up.
good and it was scary.
follow him, listen to him as much as you can. He's my favorite person to listen to talk about horror.
Yeah.
Just had to throw that out there.
Most people have to listen to me at 0.5x speed. I'm kind of a fast talker. So
Hey, what's up, JR? JR is from Horror Fiend TV. He works with Lexi. She was just talking about him. Grizzly, the mother of all bear horror films.
Oh, well, and not to mention Grizzly 2. Has anybody seen the workshop print of Grizzly 2? One of the greatest bad films of all time. Just look it up. I won't even tell you anything about Grizzly 2. Look it up. They had to put out, like, it never was officially released, and then they put it together years later on all the footage that was sitting around. Oh man, it is.
Okay.
It is a golden turkey, man. It is a delightful, terrible movie.
Oh, all right. All right, Mika, what's one you want to talk about?
I guess I will take you back to 2003 of the year of our Lord. Where a group of travelers take the wrong turn and end up lost in West Virginia, and they are being hunted by a bunch of cannibalistic inbred mountain dwellers.
I just saw that movie not too long ago.
Are you kidding me?
For the first time, you mean?
Yeah,
For the first time, right?
for the first time.
Oh,
Did you love
I've
it?
seen this movie.
I did not.
What? Come on.
It was. I feel like it was sort of like a sexy CW version of The Hills Have Eyes, kind of like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't
That's a
say
good
Hills
selling
Have
point.
Eyes. Listen, at the time that I saw this movie, I'm a massive, like the biggest Buffy fan you'll meet in your life. And when I saw that Elijah Dushku was going to be in a horror movie, I was like, sign me up. I was there. And it delivered everywhere I wanted it to. I loved it.
It's like one of those movies that it's so bad it's kind of good. For me,
fun.
like
I
that's how it was
liked
for
I
me.
thought
It was like
fun.
so bad, but I was like, I can't stop watching because I just want to see what
Yeah.
happens. Like
I
that.
think it's also one of those movies where people remember, or they think that it's worse than it was because of the very subpar, very number of sequels that came out after it. I think it was
Oh,
like 6 or
Lord.
7 more, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so
I
many
think my
sequels.
mistake too was I watched the remake, which isn't really a remake of it first, and I actually love that movie. I think it's really good.
It is markedly different, though. I can see why
Yeah.
you would be confused in calling that a remake.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not.
because it's a completely different freaking movie.
Yeah.
It
Same
has
thing as
nothing.
like the Child's Play and the Black Christmas 2019.
Yeah.
They're just in name only, but they are
Yeah.
not the same movie
Yeah,
whatsoever.
it was actually closer to Deliverance than it was to Wrong Turn.
It was the wrong turn.
Man, Deliverance is on my list.
Sorry.
No, I liked that one. I think I can't do Hills Have Eyes. It's too grapey for me. I can't watch stuff like that.
Yeah.
So this was like a version of that I could watch, and maybe that's part of it too. But God, I mean, it's got like what's the blonde that's in it played Riley and the famous Jed Jackson, and then the guy was the guy from Air Bud. Like it had all these like very
It did
early
have
2000s.
a really good cast.
It had a super fun cast, and so I just, oh, I did talk about Annihilation briefly. It is on my list. I'm not going to deep dive into that one, but Annihilation has an epic bear.
That bear is the bear of nightmares.
God, so much so. It's so good though.
The growl. Ugh. Still gives me
That
nightmares.
Sonic-y,
The
like
side of
that.
his face.
God, too much. Such a good movie. I just saw that for the first time. Actually, when I was in the hospital last year, I watched it because I didn't have anything else to do. So I watched it when I was in the hospital. It was super good. I loved every second of it.
I watched it 3 times in a row.
Did you?
I did.
Because you liked it? So, do you liked it that much?
No, because the first time I wasn't paying attention. I was on my phone. And then the second time I was paying attention, and then I was like, what happened? Wait, I don't understand what happened. And so then I rewatched it a third time, and I was like, okay, I got it. We're good now.
Yeah.
I watched it 3 times in a row in one night. And I was just like, and then every time the bear showed up, I was like,
the bear's so good. The bear to me is the best part of that movie. I love the story. The people are great, and I don't, and there's some other cool stuff that happens. But the bear is like the one thing you walk away thinking about when you've seen that movie. It's so good.
And one of the few times where the movie is better than the book.
I have not read the book. I didn't even know it was a book. Are you serious?
I didn't know it was a
It
book.
is-
It's a whole series of books, actually. Yeah.
Shut up! I had no idea.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's not good.
Find that on Spotify.
At least the first one is not.
I'm gonna have to see if it's like on digital somewhere, like the library or something. And I want to see because I love the movie.
It makes sense that it was better because it's written directed by Alex Garland, who created 28 Days Later, 28 Years Later, a lot of other good movies.
Nice.
Yeah. Azrael, 2024 underrated Woods movie. Great performance by Samara Weaving. It just looked like Ready or Not, so I didn't watch it.
No,
it looks like the same.
Look like Ready or
I'm
Not.
like, it looks like the same. I'm like, I've seen.
No,
I
it's
don't
very
care.
different. It's like post-apocalyptic, outdoor, like survival. Yeah, it's really interesting movie.
Post-apocalyptic Ready or Not. She's like running in the trailer. She's like running around. I'm like, I've seen this movie. I've seen this movie. I haven't seen that yet. But I mean, Samara Weaving's great though. I like her. So, all right, Mike, what you got for one that you want to talk about?
All right. I have to talk about this one because it's one of the funniest movies I've seen in such a long time. It is a cabin in the woods-ish movie. It came out relatively recently, and it is The Blackening.
Oh, okay.
We have to talk about this movie
Yes.
because it is the funniest.
It's
One
very
of the
funny.
funniest movies I've ever seen. I love the entire cast. I think it was a great spin on a cabin in the woods movie, a great spin, a satire on horror in general. And I just really love this movie. I thought there were parts where it did make me jump. Like, it's not necessarily scary, but it does have some cool moments of tension in a very comedic movie. I love this movie.
I actually just did. I'm taking a Black Studies course this summer, and I actually just did my midterm on that movie. We had to like pick something that was like newer. Like we learned a lot of history, and we talked about a lot of stuff that happened over years and years and years. But like our professor was looking specifically for something that took these issues and put them in a more modern lens. And I was like, oh, I know exactly what to talk about. And I specifically talked about the scene because it could only be so long. So it couldn't be like a full breakdown of the movie. But I talked about specifically about the scene where they're trying to figure out who's the blackest. And they start talking about like, and he's like, I voted for Trump twice. And like, so I talked about that scene and applied it to some things we had talked about in the course. But that's funny that it came out. I literally just submitted that yesterday. And that's what I talked about was the movie The Blackening.
I love them. I love The Blackening. Like I went and saw it in movie theater. It was like,
oh yeah, that's great.
Crazy.
Yeah. I'm trying to think because I know we're gonna do rapids after this. I'm trying to think if there's one I really wanna. I think we've. Which one? What do I feel the most strongest about? All right, let's do. All right, The Night House from 2020 with Rebecca Hall.
Ooh.
That was great.
First of all, Rebecca Hall and her. I will be sad every single time that woman is. The first movie I ever saw her in was a horror movie called The Awakening.
Yes.
So good. Not really in the woods. There's maybe some trees around, but anyway, but she's very great in a horror sense. And The Night House is one of those movies where the visuals and the way that they filmed this, you have to watch it more than once. There's no way to really grasp what you're looking at, I think, with just one watch. And I love it. I felt like people were hyped when it first came out, and then all of a sudden, like nobody was talking about it again. And it's such a great movie. She has such a phenomenal actress in the horror space. And they totally took what I thought I knew was going on and totally put it in a different bucket altogether. And I absolutely love that movie. So I wanted to bring it up too.
No, it totally makes sense that guy got the gig directing the new Hellraiser, because that movie feels like a kind of like a practice run on Hellraiser a little bit.
I didn't know it was the same person. I told you I don't know that stuff.
Yeah, no, he's a fantastic director. And and that movie, they did a lot of the cool stuff. Is like the things that you think you see that are actually built into the architecture of the house. Those were all practical. Like they actually built those. I know the guy who worked on some of the practical stuff. Like he's an artist. And he went into the house and actually came up with those effects, and then they built it practically inside the house. It's amazing stuff.
That's incredible. I love that movie. So I need her in more stuff.
Yeah,
Resurrection.
Oh my God. The monologue in Resurrection that Tim Roth has, where you find out what,
First of all, Tim Roth is also one of my favorites. I absolutely love him. He's great. Even in Planet of the Apes, I don't care what nobody says. I love him.
He was so good. I swear to God. That was an Oscar-worthy performance in a terrible movie.
You leave Mark Wahlberg.
I have not seen that movie.
I grew up on the original Planet of the Apes. That's like the originals. Like my dad had the little tape sets, and I grew up on those. So I'm a massive fan of everything they've ever done with Planet of the new movies. Oh my God, so good. Absolutely love that. But yeah, the one with Mark Wahlberg is problematic.
It's definitely the lowest. It's down there with like the TV show level.
You say Mark Wahlberg, and that just says a lot.
Yeah. But I will say though, there are some really great actors in this and actresses. Yeah. And Tim Roth plays Thad, the bad guy. He plays the bad guy, and he's very, very good and very convincing as a bad guy. So that was really good. Not related to the woods at all, although arguably the apes did live in the woods, but it's not horror, so we'll keep it moving. All right, we'll do rapid fire, just honorable mentions, a couple you want to talk about, and then we'll say our goodbyes. Chris, any more you want to just kind of shoot out, ones that you didn't get to talk about?
Yes, I have more than I can talk about, so I'll just talk about a few. Dog soldiers, werewolves versus soldiers in the wood, of course.
I love dog soldiers.
The Burrowers, Old West. It's sort of halfway between the Searchers and Jaws, but in empty fields in the woods. Amazing movie. The Alchemist Cookbook. It's about a crazy dude that lives in a trailer in the middle of the woods trying to tap into some sort of like demon power, and it works in a way he did not hope it would.
That was great.
Wendigo, directed by Larry Fessenden, one of the best coming-of-age stories I've ever seen that also involves a Wendigo. And then the last one I will mention, second to last one, Hellbender, by a family called the Addams Family.
Love that. Love
amazing
Hellbender.
Filmmakers.
So
absolutely
good.
Brilliant film. And then the last one I'll say is a movie from 2020 slow burn movie that has the most insane last 3 minutes of a film I've ever seen, starring Devon Sawa, a little film called Hunter x Hunter. If you haven't seen it,
Oh, I haven't seen
holy
that.
shit, that ending.
The
I haven't
ending.
seen it. I haven't seen that.
Scarred. Scarred.
Yes. Oh,
I'm intrigued.
that's it. And
All
I
right.
am done.
All right, cool. Mika, you want to do some rapid
Okay.
fire ones?
I'm not gonna be as fast as Chris because I don't talk that fast. I'm a little slow. Dead end, Christmas, family takes a shortcut, gets lost, chaos.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's a good one.
Hold on, scrolling. I already said that one. Deliverance was on my list.
Yeah.
4 friends get lost. You want to squeal like a pig? Run. The Witch, because it's in the middle of the woods.
Yes.
Black Phillip.
Yeah.
That's a,
Black
every time I
Phillip.
like that, I gotta
Live
think it like that. Black
deliciously.
Phillip. I'm surprised nobody mentioned this, but Lake Mungo.
I cannot believe that's not on my list.
Yeah, Lake Mungo. Like,
God,
okay,
I
Fail
love that
Found
movie.
Footage Fridays. Oh,
okay, so I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I probably have to go back and watch it again because I really wasn't. I guess I wasn't as scared as most people thought I should have been of this
I
movie,
wasn't-
and I was just like, I watch a lot of found footage, and I was just like,
Yeah.
I didn't see the scary in this one, but
no, I don't think it's scary, but it broke me. Like, it was
Yeah.
sad.
That was what I was going to
Very
say. It's
emotional.
overwhelming
emotional.
sadness was the thing that came from that movie for me.
Yes. And like,
Right,
when
it's
you turn
staying.
it off or it goes off and you're like, well, damn.
right.
Like,
I was like,
yeah.
I need a hug. Come here, kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Last one is Prey.
Oh,
Yes.
The Predator prequel? Is that
that's a great one.
Yes.
okay? I just want to make sure we're talking about. Yeah, that movie's amazing.
Yeah.
Amber
Right.
Midthunder is a fucking beast in that movie, man. She's so
She
good.
needs to be in more horror stuff too. 100%.
Oh wait, I
Yep.
had one more. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Hush.
I have that on my list. I'll cross it up.
Which one? I didn't hear it. I'm sorry.
Hush.
Oh, Hush. Oh, yeah.
Hush.
Yeah, that was probably the first Mike Flanagan thing that I ever saw and realized it was him.
Same.
Ditto.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ditto.
And the guy that plays the intruder is the main character from the Belko Experiment.
Yeah, John
Really?
Gallagher. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
Gallagher.
he's become something of a scream king. He was in Belko. He was in Cloverfield, 10 Cloverfield Lane. Yeah, he's really good.
He's good. I like him.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
So,
All right,
yeah,
Mike.
Hush is number one on my list.
That's a good one.
Okay, so I got a few. The only Osbad Perkins movie I like, Gretel and Hansel, and yes, I call him Osbad. Again, Cocaine Bear. Where is it? Frogman, Invoking Yell. Lots of found footage.
Found
and
footage.
honestly, everyone, if you need somewhere to go to find so much found footage, Into the Woods horror, check out Chris Vander Kaay's episode, the 4th episode of his found footage find show, Into the Woods, as well as his letterbox. You can find so many there. And then the last one I want to talk about really fast is Unseen, where a girl at the convenience store is helping a woman in she's trying to escape like her abusive ex-boyfriend who's trying to kill her. And she's blind. She breaks her glasses and she's blind. You have to suspend a lot of belief here because I still feel like she should be able to see a little bit in front of her.
Right.
But whatever. She's on the phone with a clerk who is trying to guide her to safety.
Okay.
There's a lot that's flawed in this movie, but there's a lot that's really good. A lot of heart and great performances in this movie. And then there you go.
All right. Crone Wood is one of
Yes.
mine. Do not make a face, Mike.
Uh-oh.
The Gracefield incident.
I liked it.
The Wendigo from 2022. It's an indie found footage movie. Significant Other from 2022. I thought was on
Yes.
Paramount.
That one was awesome.
That one's bonkers.
I don't like this movie, and by don't like I mean I hate this movie so much. But it takes place in the woods, so I did write it down. It Comes at Night from 2017.
Oh,
That was on my list.
Yeah,
That was on my list too.
I like that a lot.
we just reviewed A Stranger in the Woods. We both really liked that one. And then I think that's it. Is that all of them? Those are shark movies
Yeah.
for July. So yes, I saw them.
A lot of credit
Yeah.
to Bill Oberst Jr. for Stranger in the Woods, man. What a performance. Holy shit.
Yes.
God, listen, if I was hoping that the main female character, she like watched our review of it, and I was like, any moment now she's gonna say something, and it's gonna be a perfect end to be like, if you want to come on and talk, but then that's not really what happened. But that's okay. We may reach out at another time. Anyway, well, cool. Well, everybody that's left, thank you so much for coming to hang out. Thank you, Chris. Thank you,
Yes.
Mika. It was so nice to meet you and have you on.
Yes.
I'm so excited, nervous at the same time, but I'm like, Dad, we did this.
we just chill over here. We're not trying to make nothing too stressful. We were very excited to have you though, and we'll have to talk. Mike or either me or Mike will have to get with you about maybe doing influential horror. I think that'd be a great series to get you on. Kind of focus on some movies that influenced you. And then Mika, of course, will be back for our July live. We're covering sharks, so she'll be back for that one as well. Chris, of course, we love having you on, so you're welcome to come
Yes.
back for anything you want to be a part of.
All right.
Please, please, please check out Found Footage Finds. If you are a found footage junkie like us, or even if you just kind of like it, you should check this out. You're going to walk away with list and list and list of things to watch. And it's got some incredible creators on it.
And not woods horror, but an amazing found footage film. You also can check out his movie Ask, which can be found on Tubi and POV horror. Is that what?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's on Tubi, Amazon Prime, POV, and Fossum, I think, currently.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and we did an interview about Ask, and we covered it on Found Footage Fridays. So feel free to check out those lists.
So
Get some more
yeah,
insight.
so you guys have heard enough of me by now.
No, it's not even close, man. What are you talking about? All right. Well, thanks everybody in the chat that came and hung out. We appreciate it. Tasha, if you're still there, we love you, love you, love you, love you, love you, love you so much. And yeah, that's gonna wrap up this horror hangout. What do we have? What's our next? Is our next horror hangout before our next found footage live, or the found footage live is first, right?
Honestly, I'm not sure.
Bro, me either.
We're getting to see how the sausage is made here. This is how it happens, people.
I know, right?
This is a peek behind.
We are
this is
doing
peek-
a found
Yes.
footage watch live of Hangar 10
Yes.
Oh, nice.
On the 18th.
on the 18th, and then our Sharks episode
It's
is
the following week on Wednesday. Handy dandy notebook.
we're professionals.
So we'll see you guys for.
I'm like, let me check my Palm Pilot.
Oh, and this Friday, we have a really cool episode for Found Footage Fridays where we got to talk to the filmmakers behind a brand new found footage movie that just got a limited theater release. Found Footage: The Making of the Patterson Project.
You got it.
Y'all, you want to see something really funny? Go watch this interview where I not only messed up the name of the movie, but I also got the filmmakers' names wrong.
Boom. Hat trick.
And I'm
You
like,
got everything wrong.
I promise I've done interviews before.
But we made up
Anyway,
for it. The title,
It was
she paused, but I finished the rest,
Right,
so it was a
finish my
team
sentence.
effort.
it was there. So anyway, so that's a really fun episode. That drops this Friday as well. So make sure you go follow Chris and Mika. Make sure you're following Paul and Lexi at for the Fourth Corner of Horror Fiend TV. And yeah, that's gonna wrap up this episode. We thank you guys so much again for hanging out with us on this Wednesday. We hope you have a great rest of your week. Enjoy your weekend when you finally get to it, and we'll see you in the next one.